What is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We are on the drive home, and we better put our seatbelt on for our own protection. But this is the Monday Night Raw 5-point preview, even though we're only going to talk about 3 things on WWE.com. Number one thing is going to be the matchup, which is going to be the featured main event of the night. That is going to be set up by Commissioner Foley. He was upset with Seth Rollins. He had a big main event with a big stipulation on the line last week. If Roman Reigns beat Kevin Owens in a one-on-one match in the main event of Monday Night Raw, we would have had a 3-way for the Universal Championship at the Clash of the Champions involving Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Roman Reigns. But during this match, even though he was told specifically not to involve himself, Seth Rollins ran down trying to cause a disqualification where his odds would still be 50-50. A one-on-one match, very smart, but pissing off Commissioner Foley. I like calling him Commissioner Foley because I used to watch during the Attitude Era. I know that he's only GM Foley, but it's fun to think about the good old days. But Foley has stepped up to the plate, and honestly, what I thought he was going to do was going to make the Clash of Champions a fatal 4-way, adding all 4 competitors that were involved in that main event: Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, Rusev, and whoever I forgot. I think I forgot Roman, maybe. Well, those 4 guys would be involved in the fatal 4-way. As of right now, it looks like there's going to be 2 singles matches, but Commissioner Foley said to Seth Rollins, let's go in the back, we're going to have a chat. That chat seemed to involve this main event that was named this week on WWE.com, Rusev versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to have to pay the price for involving himself in that match, and that is a match against Rusev. The United States Championship will not be on the line. Honestly, I do not understand why WWE will not learn that the United States and Intercontinental Championships, when they are not being defended and when the champion is wrestling in matches and the belt is not on the line, makes that belt worth a hot, steaming pile of crap. We've seen this, with Kalisto, Alberto Del Rio. Rusev went through this one time. If your champion is your champion, make him put the belt on the line. It's not worth anything, just to have the guy carry the belt down to the ring if he's not going to defend it. It's going to make this United States Championship, which, they've tried to make a big deal by having Roman Reigns go after it, having John Cena hold it twice. Seth Rollins held it during his co-championship. It just doesn't make sense. If Rusev and Rollins are going to have a match, the United States Championship should be on the line. Just a year ago, Seth Rollins was holding this belt and he was caring about it. He should be caring about it here, and he should be telling Commissioner Foley that, if he's going to wrestle Rusev, the title should be on the line. He should step up to the plate and make that stipulation. But again, this is a match that Foley has put in place to punish Seth Rollins, so I guess that he doesn't get a title shot as well. Because my guess is that when Rusev wrestles Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions, my guess is that even though this is the Clash of the Champions, my guess is that the belt isn't going to be on the line in the first place. So, it is what it is. I don't know. I really thought they were going to do the 4-way. It looks like they're going to do 2 singles matches. When you think about it, Backlash, the first, co-branded shows, honestly, to me, it had some stuff on there that was fun. The people that watched it, I'm sure they had a good time. But to me, it just seemed like a show that wasn't worth me dedicating 3 hours of my Sunday. And I just watched the main event. When it comes down to it, and I look at the matches that are being planned out for this Clash of the Champions, the Monday Night Raw pay-per-view, I'm feeling about the same way, Roman versus Rusev at SummerSlam, it was what it was. Here we are, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. That's going to be a fun match to see what goes down. I think that's the only match that I'm going to care about. So it's getting down to the point that even though I'm a WWE Network subscriber, and even though I'm a huge wrestling fan, it's getting to the point where now it seems like I'm only going to be one of those guys that cares about WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and maybe Survivor Series. It's like I'm only going to care about those big 5 shows that come along, or maybe there's a Hell in the Cell match or something like that. It's almost like I'm not even a real wrestling fan anymore. I'm like those like fringe fans that, Meltzer always talks about that they try to bring in by having these big shows and so many pay-per-views, because that's the things that people care about. I'm a fan of the brand split. I like the fact that a guy like Jack Swagger jumped last week, but it comes to a point where I think it hurts the WWE brand and doesn't make SmackDown and Raw better. A lot of guys are getting chances like Jack Swagger, and a lot of guys are being used like their main eventers. Like, Rusev has been used in that spot before, but there's a lot of guys getting chances. And there's a lot of guys that you would think with weaker rosters would get a shot, that it seemed like they're still in the same spot that they were in before. So it's like the cream isn't really rising to the top. I don't know. But to me, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a sort of a match that, Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens would get involved in. Just sort of build more hype, where it basically breaks down into being a tag team match. Maybe you open up the show with this, and because so much turmoil breaks out, they have to put everybody into the match, and it ends up being a tag match with Roman and Seth, reforming the Shield on Raw, going up against Rusev and Kevin Owens. That'd be fun. Anytime you see Roman and Ambrose, or you see Rollins and Reigns, or, any sort of that combination of those three guys, you're going to have flashbacks to how awesome the Shield was. So, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's going to be going down. We'll talk about the rest of Monday Night Raw here in a sec, but I'm not looking for a whole bunch out of this match. Probably a disqualification. Worst comes to worst, I guess Rollins beats Rusev, and Rusev takes his 1000th loss of being a United States champion, and it doesn't really matter in the long run. So we'll see what goes down Monday Night Raw. And we're back, and we're still counting down everything that's going to be going down on Monday Night Raw. Of course, one of the big things that should be the highlight of Monday Night Raw is the Cruiserweight division coming to Monday Night Raw. Honestly, in my opinion, it makes more sense that the Cruiserweights would go to SmackDown, the home of Daniel Bryan being the GM. Why he would let Commissioner Foley bring them in, I don't know. But not everything needs to make sense, as my boy LD would say back in the day. But the Cruiserweight Championship was the tournament that was held on Wednesday nights after NXT. It paid off with an awesome, I guess you can say semifinal and finals with... what was it? It was TJ Perkins beating Ibushi. You had Grand Metalik. I can't remember who he beat. Yeah, I can. He beat the one dude. Damn it, I can't remember. But it ended up being TJ Perkins and Grand Metalik in the finals, having an awesome match. And with that, Triple H came out and branded TJ Perkins I'm turning on the wrong fucking street because I'm not paying attention. Son of a bitch. But TJ Perkins becoming the new Cruiserweight champion. I will say that I'm not thrilled about the belt, and I think it has to do more than the fact that it's purple. I think it's the actual plate is what I don't like the most. I think the purple would be all right, but it makes me think of girls and divas and that stuff. But I guess you can't be sexist. But the plate doesn't really look that great either. But I'm glad that they have this. I know WWE. If you remember back to the SmackDown, what was that, like around 2002? They brought the Cruiserweights back. You had Rey Mysterio, who was brought in to be a star, even though they didn't want him to win any matches. They didn't want him to be the champion. They brought in Ultimo Dragon. They brought in, I can't remember that Japanese guy. There was London. There was Kendrick. There was lots of Cruiserweights, and there was lots and lots of talent in that division. I mean, you go to WrestleMania 20, I think it's the opener. It's a really, really fun match. And I don't know, the Cruiserweight division maybe went downhill when probably Hornswoggle won the championship, and it just went away. But even before then, it was a belt that nobody really cared about. You really think about it, Shane Helms I think it was Gregory Helms. He wrestled as Gregory Helms, not as the Hurricane. And he just was a badass cruiserweight that beat everybody. And he was the champion for well over a year. And he even had the gimmick of the longest reigning champion in WWE. Nobody gave a care because everybody knows that WWE, even going back to the Taka Michinoku days and all that other stuff back in the Attitude Era, we're not stopping. We're not editing either. Thanks a lot, Pinko. But going back to the Attitude Era and all that other stuff, nobody cares about the cruiserweights. I know that everybody's gonna think about the glory days of WCW with Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero, Chris Jericho, all of these cruiserweights, Rey Mysterio, that became big deals when they came to WWE, became main eventers. Maybe there's somebody in the cruiserweight division that can break through. That's years and years down the road, and that's going to be a very lucky chance that anybody in this cruiserweight deal. WWE's always cared about guys like Psycho Sid, Diesel, Razor Ramon, guys with size. I mean, yes, we've had Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, little guys be WWE World Heavyweight Champions, but there's few and far between. I don't know how Itami fits into this, but the roster as of right now is I'm sorry. He didn't end up signing, but Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann from PWG, Kendrick, Lince Dorado, not the guy that is that guy's brother, but I can't remember what his name was. I believe, I think he's, I don't want to say the wrong things. I don't want people coming after me. I think he's Indian. Whatever the proper word is that I'm supposed to say. I apologize if I offended anybody. But I can't remember his name. I don't know if Itami fits into this, if they're going to keep him in NXT, or if he's going to be coming up and being a part of this division, or if they have plans for him to be a heavyweight. I'm not sure. But they've got guys in that Cruiserweight Classic. They've got a fan base. I'm not sure what the first match is going to be. My only hopes is that, you remember back when WCW and the Invasion was happening, they had the Buff Bagwell versus Booker T match be the main event of Raw. And it was so bad that they wanted to try and save the WCW Invasion that they had Shane Helms wrestle against... what's his name? Tori Wilson's ex-boyfriend. What's his name? He works in the back. Billy Kidman. And Kidman won the Cruiserweight Championship for the fact that they wanted to have a title change that people would care about the WCW guys. And that was supposed to be its saving grace. And I don't think that it honestly worked. So I'm thinking they put the belt on TJ Perkins, but I don't think that means that, to make people care about it, they're going to do a title change right off the bat to make things happen. And because I got more stuff to talk about, I'm going to drive by my girlfriend's place right now, and hopefully she doesn't watch this and make fun of me for the fact that I'm not going to pull into the driveway and talk about wrestling. But what else is on my list here? The Cruiserweight Championship. They have the walls closing in on Charlotte for the fact that last week we had the Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Dana Brooke match. That was the number one contenders match, and the finish got screwed up a little bit. Dana Brooke was the one that was down, and it sort of seemed like there was a double pin involving Bayley and Sasha Banks, but I think it was Sasha never got her shoulders up, and because of that, it just sort of looked really weird. I don't know if that was leading to what was hopefully going to be a Bayley versus Sasha Banks match. I talked about that last week, that this should be a match that really should be being highlighted, and Meltzer and Alvarez talked about the fact that more than likely they put Dana Brooke in that match so they wouldn't be giving that match away for free, and people would be anticipating that match happening on the main roster sooner than later because of what that meant to two different NXT takeovers, and people know how good that match is going to be. One thing leads to another. If it's going to be a three-way, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte, or if it's just going to be Sasha Banks versus Charlotte, that should be a fun match going after that women's championship, and Charlotte sort of got her back up against the wall. So Oh, and Cesaro versus Sheamus are going to have match number 6. Bet all the money you got in the world on Cesaro to win this one, because Clash of the Champions is going to be match number 7. Peace out, everybody.